Welcome to the Story Learning Podcast, regular doses of language learning tips and motivation to help you become fluent in any language. With me, Olly Richards. For language programs, books, free resources, and much more, visit StoryLearning.com.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. And I've just realized it might not even be morning. It's morning here, but it could be 10 p.m. where you are. That's the beauty of podcasting, isn't it? So anyway, welcome back to the podcast. Great to have you here. I've been working very hard behind the scenes on creating something that is probably it's the biggest thing I think I've done since I have started I Will Teach You a Language, and it's going to be especially for you guys learning Spanish. And I've wanted for a long time to create a kind of membership club where I can actually work with people who seriously want to improve and who want to get my help to improve their Spanish. I've been wanting for a long time to have a way where I can actually work with people, produce lessons myself, help people break through whatever they're struggling with Spanish. And that's coming very, very soon. So keep an eye out on that. You'll be hearing information about that over email. So if you're not signed up to the mailing list, make sure you sign up there. You can go to iwillteachyoualanguage.com to do that. And we've got a great question today about writing. Now let's get into today's question from Tomas.
Hi Olly, I'm Tomasz from Poland and I'm learning English. I have a very short question for you. I would like to ask you about improving writing skills on my own without using English teacher. Is it even possible? I'm thinking about translating some texts and uploading them to website like lang8.com. Another option is translating text from English to Polish and once again from Polish to English. Then I could compare original text and my translated text together and draw some conclusions. What do you think? I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for doing this podcast. It helps me and my friends a lot. Thank you and take care.
Okay, Thomas, thank you very much for a cool question. Writing is something that hasn't come up on the podcast very much, if at all, actually, which is kind of curious, because writing is a great skill to have, but I guess it's also something that not all of us need when we're learning a language. I've often used writing most of all, I think, for kind of emailing and texting friends back and forth, but I also have never had to actually kind of work professionally in another language day in, day out. But I know a lot of you guys, obviously, particularly learning English, have to do that, so it's a big deal. So the first thing I'd say to myself, you've got some great ideas, and I think a lot of what I would say is going to echo what you've already said. So the question is, how do you improve your writing? How can you improve your writing if you don't have a teacher? I'm going to give you 3 ideas, 2 of which you've already mentioned, Thomas, because they're really, really good. So they'll be helpful for people out there. The first thing to do is, so here's the thing. You when you're writing, if you want to improve, you have to get feedback of some kind, right? Because the basic problem is you write, but you don't know whether what you've written is correct or not, okay? And you want to get feedback. So how do you do that? Well, here are some ideas for you. There is a website called lang8.com, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes, which will be at iwillteachyoualanguage.com/episode 98. I'll put a link to that and everything else in the show notes there. Lang8 is a website with a huge community of people, and what you can do is you can go and you can write stuff, and then native speakers will come in and correct you. So you could write something in English, and then English native speakers will come in and correct what you've written, which is fantastic. Now, I have done this in the past. I used to do it quite a lot, actually. The problem I found with Lang8 is that it's the same problem that I find with anything on the internet, which is that my concentration span is really, really short. So you can write stuff there and you can get corrections, but the difficulty is you've got to make sure that you go back and actually use that and pay attention, right? So what I would suggest you do with something like Lang8 is do something regular. Keep a regular diary. So it could be before you go to bed every day, every evening. Go in and write a paragraph about what you've done. So have some kind of regular schedule where you're writing regularly. I think once every couple, if you don't have a regular schedule, you lose the benefits of this kind of exercise. So do it regularly. The other thing then is when you get corrections from people, definitely take the time to go back and actually pay attention to what they've said. Because it's easy to look at people's corrections and go, oh, that's interesting. But, actually take the time to figure out what they said, and then maybe go off and make a note of it, write it down, and then do another piece of writing that uses those corrections. it's very, very important to take feedback and actually do something with it, okay, not just to look at it. Okay, so Lang 8 is a great thing for that. The second thing is the exercise that you mentioned, Thomas, which is where, well, I call this reverse translation. Okay, and I've written an entire article about this, and again, I'll put that in the show notes. If you want to read that article, go to iwillteachyoualanguage.com/episode 98. Reverse translation is very simple, but it's also very difficult. You need to be committed and dedicated to do this because it's hard. You take an article or a text in the language that you're learning, then you translate it yourself back into your mother tongue. Then when you've done that, you hide the original and you translate from your mother tongue back into the language you're learning. Okay, so let's say that in Tomas's case, if you're Polish and you're learning English, then you would find an English article, translate it into Polish, hide the original English article, and then take your Polish translation and translate it back into English. What you can do then is you can compare what you've done with the original article, and you can see how close it is. Now, this is kind of not only is this hard, but it's very, very brutal as well, because it shows you all of your shortcomings, and it shows you all of the things that you haven't managed to translate very effectively. All right. So what is important then is that you then take the time. The work is not yet done. You then got to take the time to really analyze what's different. Where did you make the mistakes? And then do something with that. All right. It's very, very important that because it's a form of feedback, right? It's not from a real person, but it is feedback because you're comparing the original text with your translation. So take that feedback, do something with it. Make notes, do another piece of writing. Maybe do that translation again, even 2 or 3 times. I'm a big fan of doing things multiple times. It helps you really consolidate what you're learning. Now, the third thing is to go and find an exam book with writing exercises in it. There's some, particularly for English, you've got some fantastic books out there, especially for exams like IELTS or for the TOEFL exam or something like that. You've got people that have created amazing exercises for writing. And so what you do is you get one of these books, they're going to give you a topic, maybe teach you a bit of vocabulary from the topic, and then you have to go away and write a short essay or something on that topic. But what those books have is sample answers. So what you can do is once you've written your little essay on, say, the environment, typical exam topic, you then take your essay and then you can go and compare it to the sample answer that they've given in the back of the book. And you can see, how have they, not only what language did they use, what grammar have they used, but you look at things like how did they start the essay? How did they structure the essay? How did they end the essay? And this is a fantastic way of growing your vocabulary on relevant, useful topics, but then comparing it to a model answer. All of these 3 things that I've mentioned are different ways that you can get feedback without using a teacher. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks for the question, Thomas. It's a cool question. And if you would like to ask me a question, you can go to iwillteachyoualanguage.com/ask to do that. But as you know, as you've heard me say, I've heard like 6 or 7 times already now, I'm putting together a compilation of messages from you guys for episode 100. And episode 100 is coming up in 2 episodes from now. I would like you, please, to tell me one thing you have learnt from this podcast. One thing you've learnt about language learning from this podcast or from me on the blog. And then I'd like you to tell me what that is. And you can do that by going to the same page. So it's iwillteachyoualanguage.com/ask. And please tell me your name, where you're from, and one thing you have learnt from listening to the podcast. That would be super cool. You'll get to hear that in a couple of episodes' time. So I hope that's something there to be looked forward to. And that's it. So a couple of resources from this episode that you can find in the show notes as well. So head over to iwillteachyoualanguage.com/episode 98 for that. I'll put a link to the reverse translation article and also to a couple of books I found on Amazon that give you writing practice. That's very, very interesting to look at. All right. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode of the podcast, episode 99.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. And here at Story Learning, everything that I do is powered by stories, whether that's writing books, teaching lessons, crafting courses. My mission is to help everyone succeed at learning a new language through the power of story. And we now have comprehensive language courses in over 15 languages, from Spanish to French, Korean to Japanese, and across all levels from beginner to mastery. And you can take a 7-day free trial of any of these programs by visiting storylearning.com/courses. I've poured my heart and soul into creating these courses over the last 10 or so years, and we've helped tens of thousands of new students achieve their dreams of learning a new language, all through the power of story. So go ahead and take a free trial. There's no commitment. You can try out our method for free, see if this can also be the breakthrough for you that it's been for so many other people. storylearning.com/courses.